So right now you'll be seeing the underground elevator we're going to build in today's video. It can go down, it can go up like usual, and this might seem simple, but in actual reality an underground elevator is much more complicated than you first thought, without being very annoying. So the items you're going to need are 2 observers, 3 sticky pistons, 6 slime blocks, 1 dropper, 1 stone button, 5 redstone torches, 2 redstone repeaters, a bunch of redstone dust, I think 32 will be enough, and 1 singular trapdoor. Now these 2 blocks are very important because these sets of blocks are called immovable blocks. Now we're going to definitely 100% need these in this contraption because of the fact that it's going to have to go underground. And you're also going to need 64 of a chosen block. This chosen block should be movable, and it should probably, if you're building this inside a base, then it would be the floor of the base. Now going back to the immovable block thing, we can see over here some variations of it. So this is technically what it's going to be looking like, and we have barrels on the outside because in Java barrels are immovable blocks. And then we have one of my favorites, but probably the most grindy, the obsidian wall. Now this is immovable by itself. If you're late game though, you probably can afford this. If you're early game, I would recommend these 2 options, which are furnaces and droppers. Now droppers and furnaces are both relatively cheap. I guess you can, I think furnaces are going to be the cheapest ones because they only require a bunch of cobblestone, and these are just the backs of the both of them. So this is the back of a dropper, and this is a back of a furnace. It'll be quite tedious to put these in back ways, so but it's not the worst. Or you could take the complete opposite approach and have a whole empty area for your flying machine to come down into without sticking onto walls. Now this could be cool. I mean, you could add, if you wanted to, you could add some like water down the sides of it. But I mean, this would be cool. I mean, you could do whatever you want with the walls as long as the walls don't stick to the sticky piston. And so the walls have to be immovable like these blocks. Anyway, enough of that, let's get on to the contraption. Now I'll be using polished andesite as my bottom block, and for my immovable block, I'll actually be using barrels. Obviously it's your choice. And there's going to be more explanation of why this took so long and also how this works at the end of the video. So stick around if you want to know a bit more about redstone, you know, it's always good. Anyway, that's not what the video is about. The video is about making this contraption. So first of all, let's get our temporary chosen blocks, basically. And let's build up a platform like this. So it's a cube that's 2 by 2, width and in length and height. So then on top of this cube, we're going to build our observers like this. So you should have the red dots facing towards you. And then you're going to place down your sticky piston like this. And you're going to place a slime block here. You're going to try and get it back on top of this. And then you're going to place another sticky piston like this and a slime block on top. And now you're on top of the contraption. You should be able to place 4 slime blocks like this in a 2 by 2 manner, so it should look something like this. And then on top of this you can place the chosen block for your floor. Now this floor, if you can imagine, this will be flush with your floor of your base, whatever you're going to build this underneath, so you can just walk over here and it'll be quite cool to see actually. And I'm going to delete all those, and we're going to delete the bottom of this. So this is basically just the foundation for the sticky piston. So now it's just going to be chilling. It's going to be chilling on top of the on top of the hole you're going to build. Now you can dig down as far as you want, but the hole has to be 2 by 2, so a total of 4 blocks in surface area. And you're going to dig down as much as you want until you reach the entrance you want to be in. So I'm going to make my hole, 8 blocks down? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I think that's right. So I'm going to make my entrance around here. So you should have your hole, and at the bottom of the hole you should have the entrance around about here. It'll be good if it's 2 by 2, but you could have it 1 by 1 if you really wanted to, but 2 by 2 is the best. And now you're going to dig down another 5 blocks. This is compulsory, you can't choose these 5 blocks, they have to be exactly 5 blocks. So your sticky piston will end up like this, and you can just walk across. You can, if you want to, you can have a sticky piston. If you dig 1 more down, your sticky piston will land, your elevator will land here, and maybe you can have a bit of a jump here, but your choice. This is the best for most people, 5 blocks directly underneath the start of your entrance. And now at the bottom of this you can place down your barrels or your chosen immovable blocks like this. I'm going to try and make it as good as possible. There we go. That's fine. You can look at where your observer is facing. My observer is facing that way, so we're going to break a block here. So technically what's going to happen is the observer, when it comes down, it's going to be here. Yeah, it's going to be facing this way. So, but you're going to have to activate it again to send it back up. So this is going to be where your trapdoor is going to be to activate the observer. We'll place a trapdoor right here. And now you're going to do the fun part. Yeah, the very fun part. Oh, wow, okay. You're going to fill out all these walls with your removable block. Now, this is the tedious bit. This is probably the most grindy bit. But it will work out in the end. But when making this contraption, you need to make sure that all this effort you're going to put into is worth it. So don't have like an elevator just going down 2 blocks. That's not going to work. It's going to have to be at least 8 blocks or 5 blocks underneath. But make sure it's worth it. But for the very top edge, you don't need to fill in with your removable blocks. Just leave it as it is, and we'll come back to it. Obviously, in survival, you can't fly like me, so I think the best option is for you to dig down and replace blocks as you come back up. Kind of like this. So you dig down, and then you place your blocks going up. Alright, let's get building. Right, that's it. So you should have something that looks like this. Oh wait, that needs to be orientated this way, there we go. And the lips of the very lip, the top and bottom lip of your entrance should be covered with your removable block. This side does not need to really, you could put some decoration here if you want to. This won't matter, whatever block that is, you can choose. But hey, that's one of the most tedious bits done. So now you're going to build up to here, yeah? You're going to go onto this lip of your entrance, and maybe you can dig across some bit more if you want to. Anyway, so we're going to place down our button here. This button is going to have to activate the trapdoor down there, and it's going to have to activate a mechanism up there just so we can send this back down if we need to call it. Oh, why am I placing buttons everywhere? Anyway, so we're going to dig around here, dig underneath this block, and I'm going to place down a redstone just here, right? And now from here, we're going to break this block, and we're going to place our redstone repeater here into this block, and we're going to break this block and redstone torch on top. So this is just setting up for our signal going all the way up to the top there. And now from here we'll dig across and we'll start to make a line of redstone dust going all the way down. Now this line of redstone should go down and activate the trapdoor down right there. Yes. Now, so we are going to have a go at climbing back up and placing our array of torches to the top of where we need to go. So we're going to place down a torch here, 1, 2, and this torch should be turned off, and we can, if we're in survival, we just follow me. You can just do this, go up onto the side and place a block here, and then a torch all the way up. So that's 3, a third torch, 4th torch, and 5th torch should be right here. Now we're on top, let's place our last torch on top of this, and this should be lit up. And I think, yeah, so our area is over here. So we're going to have to build a cross. Let's go across here. And then we will go to meet the face of our elevator shaft, and we'll break open this. So you should be right underneath the lip of your elevator shaft, right here. So it should be just below here, and that should be where you end up. You should actually end up here. I need to dig all the way around here so you meet up to the elevator shaft. Let's dig one more down. Let's get rid of all of this. And now what you're going to do is you're going to place down a chosen block here. Technically the floor of your base should be this material. Anything that is movable would also do. And you're going to place a dropper facing towards me, so facing this way. And then you're going to replace your chosen blocks here. Right, now we're going to fill in this bit again. We just had to do that so we could stand and yeah, not have anything disrupt us. We're going to move this torch over here. Place a block here, And we're going to place a block here, and we're going to place the redstone dust on top, and that should be powered like you see over there. And we're going to place our piston on top of that here, and over here let's build a bit more of a oh, that's one thing you need to be aware of. We'll place a redstone repeater here, and then we'll place a redstone dust here, so that dispenser should activate. And now from here we're going to take away this. Yes, again we're going to take away this. I'm very sorry, but this is the only way. Unless we go down that way, we could. But we're going to have everything left as usual, and we're going to block this all off. We don't have to block it all off, but I'm doing it just because, yeah, it's much neater. And we're going to build across here, and we're going to replace these immovable blocks like this. And now we are going to, let me just, we're going to pile up to the top. If you're in survival, you can just follow what I did. If you're in creative, you can just fly back up. And we're going to delete everything from there. So right now we should be at the top. We should have our elevator on top of this. Something that looks like that on the side of it that's facing the observer. And if we go into spectate, you should see everything laid out perfectly here. A piston, dust, repeater going with this, and then our redstone torch powering this block, which powers the dust over here. Now you're going to destroy the outer layer of this chamber, which your flying machine is going to go down into. Now we're going to destroy this block as well, just for now. And we will activate the elevator to go down. And to do that, you're going to place and replace a block in front of the topmost observer, like this. Oh, that's quite loud. And it should smoothly go down. If it does stop in the middle of it, you've done something wrong with the sides. There shouldn't be any movable blocks on the side like this, otherwise the elevator will stop midway. It should all be removable blocks. Now, you should have the elevator flush with this entrance, like you've seen right here. And now, we can go back. Don't fall down like I just did. Go back. If you're in survival, you should stay up here. And we're going to replace the block here. So this should be the floor of your base. And we can go ahead and fill in this area. There we go. Now you can make the floor of your base right now. You can imagine you're walking into here and the door's like here. We can have something like this. So we just walk in and boom, there we go. You have the elevator. So we're gonna drop down. Let's test this out. We should press the button and it should start moving up. Now and then it should stop up here. There we go. We have it stopped. Now the thing is, you're going to need to have a way of activating it from above. Now this way can be secretive. You could have like a bunch of blocks, and behind the block it could be the button, like kind of like this. If I do this, it could be something like that and that, and you should. Maybe something like that. That's like the worst example, but hey. Now I've just removed the archway. We need to have a way of activating it from the top. Now you're going to dig around the edges to find that place again. So this is not it, there it is. So it's over here. You're going to find the piston sticking out like this. I should have probably done this before, but anyway, you're going to find this area and you're going to dig this whole thing out again. Sorry about this, but you're going to try and get to this redstone torch, because that's the main activator in this redstone contraption. Oh, that was not meant to happen. And now you're going to place a redstone dust here, right? And then you're going to place a redstone dust here. Yep. And then you're going to place a block, or whatever your block is, and you can place down your button over here. Right, now this should activate the redstone dust to deactivate the torch, to then activate the whole elevator to go downward. This is a bit of a weird situation, because you can have this button anywhere, and hear me out here, as long as it activates this redstone torch right here. It has to activate, it has to have a redstone dust trail leading to this torch in order for the elevator to go back down. I'm going to leave my button here, and then you can go ahead and fill this back up. Oh, that was a lot of talking. Anyway, so now we press this button, it should go down, so we can stand over here. It's a bit far actually. Maybe I should move it. So this is why you should tweak it a bit. I'm going to move the redstone dust trail over here. So it's a bit more accessible. There we go. Cover this back up. And we'll have our button here. See, much more accessible. And now, there we go. We have it. It works. Oh, that's so loud. And there we go. We'll stop down here. Press the button to go up. Ooh. And now to the top, we can press the button again to call it back down. Look at that. That works flawlessly. And if you want to go back up, you can do this. Hey, look at that. But this is the flush underground elevator complete. Yeah, you can celebrate now. But it'll be good if you stick around, because we're going to go ahead and see how this contraption actually works. Maybe get a bit of understanding behind it. But if this is all you want and you don't really want any explanations, then be sure to drop a like at least if you enjoyed this contraption. If this works for you. If it doesn't work for you, you can leave a comment down below and I'll be happy, more than happy to answer it. So there's more ways that this can go wrong, this contraption. So go ahead and comment if you do have something wrong with it. But hey, for you guys who are sticking around, thank you. Let's go ahead and let's get a deeper understanding of how this works. Right, let's teleport over to our famed Redstone world. Not really famed, to be fair, more of like a prototype. Anyway, let's go over here. This is what the one I built for this episode. I built some prototypes, obviously, but let's start off with the elevator. Now this looks very simple, but in fact it's quite ingenious, in all fairness. This is like an upside down version I made of it. Oh, well, I think I broke it. Upside down forward head Batarang or something, I don't know. Let's clear our inventory. There we go. Let's have a clean sheet. So we're going to go ahead and explain this. So let's get some furnaces so we can stop the elevator from taking up some ground. Right, now let's simulate what's going to happen down there. So the elevator comes down, and now I'll try to make this in slow motion for you guys. But when I flick the trapdoor, that happened. Now if you do it in slow motion, you can see the observer activating the piston, and the piston pushing it up, and the second observer noticing that and pulling the rest of the contraption back up with it. So it's like an infinite push and pull, bringing the whole thing upwards. Now back to normal motion. You can see that if this is activated, it sends a pulse to this slime block, which activates this piston. If an observer detects a change, it will send quite a quick pulse. Instead of pushing the slime block and then pulling it back, it will push it and pull it so fast, it will just let go of the slime block in midair. Look at that. And this is basically what the principle of a sticky piston is. So you just add another piston here, and a slime block here, and when this is activated, this is pushed up, and then for that, an observer will be here to detect another change, and therefore you get an upwards and forward motion. But anyway, we are running quite low on video time, so we're going to try and get to the rest of the contraption quite quickly. So this is going to go down, and it's going to end up here. This button sends a redstone pulse to its hard powers this block right here. This powered block now gives a redstone signal to this redstone dust. This redstone dust, as it is on top of this block, it sends a signal to the block, and this redstone repeater takes the signal, puts it into this torch, and when this torch turns off, the signal turns off, and so this trapdoor that was here being powered, normally, will be unpowered, and so it will flip up, and this will start to ascend the elevator that was down here back up to the top. And now going back to this thing, so what it also does is it sends a signal to this, and this turns off. And when this is turned off, this turns on. When this is unpowered, it unpowers this block, and this is now unpowered, so it's powered. Get it? When this torch is powered, which is caused by the unpowering of this torch, it unpowers this, and so the piston retracts, and this sends out a signal to the dispenser and activates the dispenser, and because this is a button, it comes back to what it originally was. So this redstone torch turns from being on to off to then on again. And what that does over here is it retracts this block right here, which is immovable, this block. Yeah, it's kind of weird seeing under here. But what that does is that allows the whole machine to actually move, because if we remember correctly, a sticky piston has a limit of 12 blocks. So what's on top of this is actually a combination of 11 blocks. So if we add one more block to the mix, the sticky piston will not be able to move, and that's how it gets stuck up here. But when we retract that block, and we activate this observer to then start to send downwards, it doesn't get stuck, because this block is now gone. There's now 11 blocks, so the piston does push it, and it starts to make its way down here. And we can show that again if we press this button quickly up here. That sent out, you can see that it pulsed and it pulsed again. So now it's back to its place originally. So when the elevator does come back up, it does stop. Now this thing I kind of made a mistake on having it a bit lower than usual, but hey, and when you the whole concept still works, and you can just have like a jump here. But yeah, that is the contraption. That's the quick and probably quite a confusing explanation of the contraption. I did try my best to explain it as much as possible, but hey, You know some things now, don't you? Probably was kind of boring for you. You probably did skip a bit of it. That's fine. That's normal. In learning redstone, you have to do this yourself, because someone teaching you will not be the same as you practicing it in your own way. Be sure to like and subscribe if you can. Sorry for the lateness of this video. This was quite a hard contraption to make, to be fair. I was trying to figure out a way of not having that many immovable blocks on the sides of the walls, but I ended up having to change my mind. If you did enjoy fully, then do like. If you didn't enjoy, then obviously you don't need to like, because that's not genuine. And I'll see you in another video. If you want to watch more, well, you have 2 videos right here in front of you. Click one of them and it'll take you straight there. Ladies and gentlemen, good night.